I worked out one day and everything knotted up. I mean, my neck and shoulders, and it just like radiated pain for like 3 days. And it turned out every time I tried to exercise after that, that would happen. I did go see a doctor. They couldn't tell me what was wrong. I went to a nutritionist. They couldn't, I mean, they don't say nothing's wrong. They try and, give you different things, but nothing helped. The only thing that I found that kind of relieved some of that pain was magnets, actually. And so I got very heavy into magnets in my back, my neck area, and so forth, and that helped. But as the years progressed, it took less and less to activate all that pain. And some people said it might be fibromyalgia or something like that, but I really don't know what it was. It just continued to get worse. And then I just had a series of accidents after that that continued to make things worse. I was hit by I'm sorry, I did forget that one of the things I did when I went to a chiropractor to see if they could help, and they took x-rays, and the technician that took the x-rays, they're not supposed to say anything, but he looks at me and he goes, "Wow, were you in a bad car accident?" No. So the chiropractor, he looks at it and he tells me, he says, "Well, you've got damage here and here and here," and it was bad enough in the neck where he didn't want to even manipulate it. He said just a minor fender bender could paralyze me from the neck down. And so that's kind of scary because, I'm a contractor. I do all kinds of things that could cause some kind of a little problem. So a little bit after that, I was hit by a cement mixer in my jaw here that cracked some teeth, and again, in the area of my neck that's scared the heck out of me and caused even more pain. I was hit by an iron pipe upside my head here a few years ago that for like 8 months, I couldn't even touch that part of my head because it felt like my skull was soft. And so I had a constant headache, and I got a concussion from it. And there was all kinds of things that happened from that I couldn't pick up a glass or eat with this hand. It would just like shake violently. So one other accident that I wanted to mention before I get into the results from here is that I had torn my calf muscle, my Achilles, and some tendons in the bottom of my foot that there was already so many things I couldn't do in my life anymore from all of this pain from this area. Now I could no longer run or even walking very far was a problem. And my foot hurt like every night. My calf hurt every night. So coming here, there's so many things I couldn't do as my life just got like smaller and smaller in a way. I couldn't lay on my back. I felt like I had this knot in my back, and if I laid on my back for like 2 minutes, it would be screaming. And so and one of the hardest things for me to do was just sit down. If I sat down for very long, everything would knot up. Dr. Joe talks about this energy field, and it felt like my energy field was working against me. It literally felt like that, because everything was just like vibrating around me. And it did get to the point where in the last couple years, I really felt like I didn't want to be on the planet anymore because things were unpleasant most of the time. I watched What the Bleep years ago when it first came out. Loved it, and in particular the things that he said and how he spoke about how he would start his day really struck me that he was creating his reality. And I love that. And I didn't know for a long time that he was doing anything with that. And so when I found out that I could watch some of his things on YouTube, we started, my wife and I started watching some of his videos. We started doing some of his meditations, listening to the testimonials, and my wife was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. So we started really looking into what it would take to get to a workshop. And probably if it weren't for her, I don't think I had enough hope that I would have come here on my own, really came here for her. So as we started the day, you know, I'm pretty anxious about having to just sit. But that day, and that day along with all the other days, I have this undershirt that fits really tight, that can hold all these magnets that go up my back and on my shoulders and so forth. I sleep with them. I have magnets on my neck. And so I wore them that day, and I didn't have pain. I mean, very little. Sitting didn't cause any extra pain, and I sat for an extended period. When we did, the next day we did aligning the energy centers, and I just felt everything like aligned, like I never felt in my life. I really, it didn't just feel like energy was aligned. It felt like my body was aligned. And in doing that, there was 2 places, one like when we got to the heart, that I literally felt 2 pops in my back and such a relief. And then when we got up to the throat, there was one in my neck that popped. And again, some relief. Over the next couple of days, I stopped wearing the magnets, and I have not had to wear magnets since then, and no pain. We've laid on the ground now. Today we did a 4.5-hour meditation, most of which was laying down, and the only pain that I had was from the little knots in the back of my jeans that on my tailbone. Nothing in my back. I have not been able to lay on my back for years and years. So for me, this was like transformational. The pain in my foot from tearing the Achilles and the tendons, that went away like right away. Walking on the beach barefoot, I wouldn't have been able to do that before. And now, I mean, there's nothing. For days now, there's been no pain. No pain sleeping, no pain walking. And I just would not have even hoped to have that kind of a benefit from this. And I have to say that I'm hooked. I'm going to be doing these meditations every day. And it's not just about relieving pain, it's about creating my future and finding that love and for myself and for life. And it's working. I mean, I feel like my heart's opened up. I feel like I have a new life.